for short trip in Varanasi, a choice-based approach. So as we know that India is experiencing the urbanization, which is increasing from 31% to 40% by 2040, which is leading to the demand of the urban mobility and increasing the pressure in the urban area. As from the graph, we can see that 25% of those is dependent on the two-wheelers and mostly dependent by the private vehicles, so which is increasing the congestion in the traffic and the higher emissions. As per the census 2011, we get to know that there was 85.5 million people who uses travel mode for daily uses for work purposes. Among 60% is for the short trip for the 5 kilometer. As we can see that this is the mode of the travel, where we get to know that the 5% is the car and other are the higher percentages, but most of our planning and the urban development is based on the car centric. For that, we know we can use the micromobility, which is referred for the compact and non-combustible mode, which we can be used for the 10 kilometer up to 25, which can be operated for 25 kilometer per hour, and uses for the first last mile connectivity with the sustainable urban transportation system. So it could be the shared or the private, anything electric or human powered, but not any combustible cannot be thing. These are the mode which can be micromobility. So these are the latest research, and most of the things is actually done by the Western countries. So what I aim to do is the understanding the user preference in the context of Indian, especially tier 2 cities like Varanasi. For that, I have used the mode choices factor, which will be used for the preferences, get to know the willingness to pay and the generalized cost and the cost sensitivity. So we get to know that which is the most influence factors for the mode choices. I have used study area for Varanasi, which is situated on the Ganga, and it is important for the trade, commerce, and the travel tourism. So as per the 2011 census, we know that a 1.1 million population. It has municipality area of 82 square kilometer and urban density of 14,000 people per square meter. But one of the thing is that it has tourism of 120 million in 2023, which is 35 times to the local population. So on the limited infrastructure, the pressure is very high. So these are the three areas we can get to know: the central area, which is highly congested, and the central area, which is lesser with lesser hierarchy, and the outer area. So, and as for the travel characteristic, we also get to know that the registered vehicles in cities come to the 1.4 million, where the 90% is the two-wheelers, and other things is actually from the MOSHA we get to know that it's totally depend upon the private vehicles, but it have some scope because there are some opportunity due to the cycling and the walking mode share, so it have more scope. But one of the problem, it is one of the slowest city, and in one of the report it is ranked of 5th and top for the top tier city, which have the slowest speed in the city, which is continuing throughout the day. These are the problem I have identified in the city in different kind of area, like commercial or religious places, or the main transportation area. The method I use a discrete choice method to do my thing, and in this people make a choice which is the best possible choice in a hypothetical scenario with different alternatives of different factors. It is on a hypothetical method, and its advantages, it's give the travel behavior for the newer solution also. So that's why we have used, and multiple nominal logic model is used for the interpretation of the data. I have used the 5 factors for the mode choices, which is travel cost, travel time, access time, separate lane, and the safety. Other non-dependent or non-controllable, which is not related to build site, is excluded from this thing. The objective is for the 3 kilometer, which is average for the city. I have used the 4 shared micromobility option could be there for the 3 system, and these are actually the levels for the survey we have used for the different travel costs and things. For the survey design, I have used the fractional factorial method, which is again used for the to reduce the number of questionnaires for the better result, we have used the SPSS, which give the 81, which is divided into 9 set for in this kind of mode choice survey. So these are the survey. I have used the purposive sampling method, where I have used the for the different demographic for the different places to of the city to get a diverse representative, and which is actually more than the conjoint based which we needed for 42, and we have collected 44 and 50 data. The socio-demographic data which I have get to know, the 60 is the male and the other percent. Most of the age is the lesser than the 18 and 32%. Occupation are the students, and the working peoples are the from here, and the lower income and other economies showing. These are other travel characteristics is there. The travel frequency is showing. The purpose is the for the education, and the work purpose is happening there. Most of the people is using for the short trip, and the majority of the thing is the privately owned car, which showing the city's characteristic. Reveal preference actually shows that how much time it taking or cost taking for the 3 kilometer. For cycle and walk for active mobility, we have seen the 28 to 20. For two-wheelers and car is 20 minutes and 32. And for IPT is the mid-range between the two-wheeler and things. This is the model which have from MNL model. We get to know from here. We get to know the travel cost, travel time, and the access time is the important for us. And the other safety lane and was the irrelevant to our study. Other is the male and the shorter people of lower income, low age, rarely frequent users, and the cycle users are more likely to choose micromobility. So here the probability of choosing in a 3 different scenario from worst to best stage, we get to know that the e-bike is actually being used for more. If even the situation is less, it is due to the convenience for the people. So people preferring convenience for that. Willingness to pay is showing that how much people will willing to pay for saving 1 minute of time. So we get to know the cycle and e-cycle. Most of the people willing to pay higher for the e-bike for the convenience, we get to know. And for the e-rickshaw, for the access time, people are willing to pay more for more access for the e-rickshaw. Generalized cost is actually adding both monetary and non-monetary cost, which is including a time also for one people, how much it costing to one people for 3 kilometer. And we get to know that most of the generalized cost is actually for the e-bike, but the percentage is low when the scenario is changing. And we get to know that the cycle and e-cycle have more sensitive to the time and thing, which lead to the mode share thing probability. And last is the sensitivity analysis. We get to know that a travel time is actually the most important thing for us, which is lead to the mode shift in the mode choices when we increasing 10% increasing decrease in the value of travel time or any other factor. Another thing is a travel cost for the e-cycle and the e-rickshaw, which is it shows that these are the most sensitive to the travel cost. And for the access time is the lesser than the travel cost and the travel time, but for active mobility like walk and cycle, it is showing cycle and e-cycle, it's showing for the travel access time. So in conclusion, we get to know that it is very effective for short trip if we use the micro mobility, and we get to know that from the revealed preference it is dominated by the private vehicles and IPT. So there is significant amount of cycling and walking, so it has more scope. And we get to know from the discrete choice analysis that the travel time, travel cost, and access time is important for us, especially for the cycle and e-cycle, which is more sensitive to them. So we can, so if it's accessible and affordable, we can be implemented in the city. And other thing, e-bike, we can use the PPP model for, as it is a premium option. People are likely choose more. Another thing is for the demographic, the younger male and lower income are the first user. We can target them, and for the other, we can provide subsidies and other promotional and awareness campaign for people to come to that. Another thing is actually enhancing the means there are other future scope we can study, which we have not included, like the seasonal changes and real-time uses. And other method is gender specific and influence of digital platform. If we can also do the comparative analysis for the better policy and representation of the other, what could be the better micromobility option in tier 2 cities. So these are my conclusion for that. These are the references I've used in my papers. Thank you. If there is any question, or I can also explain the data if there was any question.
Thank you, Vaibhav. Any questions from audience? No? Okay, thank you, Vaibhav. We welcome next presenter, Suhail Masood, on passenger comfort assessment, comparing electric and CNG buses in Delhi.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Suhail, pass out from SP Bhopal in 2024 and currently working as a transport planner in Drupad Consultant. So my topic is basically passenger comfort assessment comparing EV and CNG buses as case of Delhi. So this is the broader outline in which the presentation is lined up. So if I talk about the SLB of service level benchmark of PT in India, so MOUD is explained in 2011 that we have 6 parameters of 6 indicators for the public transport facility, in which 5th is the level of comfort in public transport. I have derived passenger comfort enrich the more parameters to add on the passenger load like ride comfort, accessibility, environment, security, and seating. These are correlated with the passenger load, which we have to consider in passenger comfort. So some global benchmarking. This slide talks about the global benchmarking along all the city, in which these are the parameters like crowding, load factors, seating, ride quality, climate control, cleanliness. So these are the KPIs which are globally benchmarking for the public transport. I have listed India, and there are some gaps which I have identified from the literature in ride quality, climate control, cleanliness, passenger availability, and security. So my research aims to enhance the passenger comfort in in electric and CNG buses operating in Delhi. And these are the objective which focuses, and I have derived the output from this. And the research output is in the form of the passenger comfort for adding the parameters in SLB. So I did the sample collection in both method, questionnaire and instrument based. In both primary data and secondary data collected. So the primary data I have collected through instrument based also and via questionnaire, and these include both qualitative and quantitative measures. So the main in this I have collected onboard data for the instrument. On these data is the cabin data of the bus basically. So these instrument data I have collected from the instrument. From these instruments like noise, I have captured from traceable noise meter. Then temperature and humidity I have captured from the hydrometer, and speed and the route track that from the GPS. So as a case of Delhi, Delhi I have selected because we are adopting EV in that particular scenario. At that particular time, around 600 buses are on board in the Delhi city, and EV are basically the transition from CNG to EV is happening in Delhi city. So the data collection that I have collected for EV and CNG buses. So this slides talk about this slide talk about the data that I have collected, secondary data for the like age and number of buses within a city of Delhi, and primary data from questionnaire I have asked about age, household income, qualification, trip characteristics, and the instrument data that I have collected are noise, reading, speed, temperature, humidity, and passengers. This map tells about the surveyed routes. That I have surveyed 10 routes. In this, I have collected data for EV and non-EV buses both. So these are the tools, instruments basically, from which I have collected instrument-based data, and via questionnaire I have collected the survey passenger data. So in data analysis, these are the passenger comfort rating for EV. So it is from the highest to lower. In EV buses, safety is higher, then noise rating is lower side. For non-EV, temperature comfort rating, basically passenger comfort rating in non-EV is in this, temperature is higher on side, and seat availability is lesser. So basically these are the data, instrument-based data that I have collected on route. Basically these the numbers, average passenger I have collected, then minimum maximum temperature of within a bus, humidity, then LEQ, which is a average sound level at a particular time. So noise level I have collected for minimum, maximum, and journey distance. This map talks about the noise level, and the circle highlighted are tells the spatial variation we are found in my research, that these are the area where maximum noise is happening. So the reasons why these noise are happened, so noise variation across operational events. This graph tells about that in EV critical noise peak are due to the breaker, speed humps on the road, and the jerk situation that happened. And in terms of acceleration, horn, jerk, breaker, EV, non-EV are similarly in nature. So after the data that I have collected from the passenger, so I used AHP for AHP and K-mean clustering I have done to make the benchmarking for the that I have derived for SLB, and I have found that 30% from 30% of survey data I have derived this benchmarking, and the remaining percent we got to know that LOS2 for EV bus come from the passenger rating, and LOS3 is for the non-EV buses. So these are the some recommendations that majorly I have found noise is significantly similar in both the So basically this slide talks about the what we have to recommend for the for our future purposes, like noise mitigation. We will use noise control, then thermal comfort will increase the thermal comfort, seating designs, and policy integration we will use for which include the passenger comfort parameter state-wise, and we will enrich the service level benchmarking of India, which is also established in 2011. So we have to revise this when we are shifting from EV to non-EV to EV. These are the references that I have used in my papers. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Suhail. Any questions from audience?
As your research gap, you pointed out we have to improve the service level benchmarking in India, and you proposed one improvement that is in the very first slide. I think. Yeah, this is the 6 percentage of fleet as per. Is this the thing?
This is the SLB indicators, which currently we have.
Okay.
In level of comfort in public transport, we have only passenger load, which is bold in the
Okay.
right side. But the ride comfort, accessibility, environment, security, seating, it is the in-cabin
Yeah.
parameters. So they also they are correlated with the passenger load. Currently, we are doing passenger load by number of passenger per seat.
Okay. So what I'm asking was, what is your suggestion precisely, like one liner or something, that this should be added in the service level benchmark, and what is your reason to add it?
We will add these means we will detail out these parameters for service level benchmark. Currently, we have passenger load only for the assessing level of comfort. But if we include noise and basically noise and the security, seating ergonomics, these type of things, if we add to that, will increase the passenger comfort.
So you have not narrowed down to either to increase include noise or seating, but this should be included, but you have not narrowed it down. Yes, so, noise should be included, and where? Okay, fine.
Thank you. Yes.
Hi, I just wanted to know what's the duration of this study, and was it summers or winters?
It's winter.
It was winter.
Yeah, 3 month study we have done, but this survey we have collected for 3 days only.
3 days. What would be your observations if it would have been happened in summers? Would it be different from the outputs that you got from the?
This is the in-cabin. Basically, these readings and these samples are the in-cabin readings and parameters that I have captured or derived from the literature. So outside noise, I have calculated or measured from this.
Yeah, precisely. I was talking about the environment, which might be the temperature and humidity.
Yeah, it's basically in-cabin environment, which talks about the temperature. Like if we have now we have AC buses only in Delhi,
Okay.
so it's not hampered.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Any more questions? No more?
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. Sir, my question is like during your survey, even though you have collected the noise level, have you collected during the peak hour or non-peak hour? Because both are like different level, no?
No. It's not about the peak and non-peak. I have collected route-wise data. So
Okay.
that particular route, like I have explained. These are the situations, these are the conditions when
Okay.
I have collected the data.
Okay.
And this is the basically time, average duration of time of each bus, route-wise data I have collected.
Okay. My question is like if you have collected in the non-peak hour, maybe the comfort level will be little increased when compared to the
Yeah,
peak
it
hour.
will
That's why.
Different.
So that's my question, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sorry, I have just to intervene. There will be transport quiz competition, and we will be conducting in the exhibition area. That is at 11 o'clock. I request you all, please participate, and if you give the right answer, you will get a token gift also. That is what I wanted to make, because most of the students and delegates, all are welcome, because it's in the exhibition area. Normally we conduct in the T area, because of certain space problem, we have to conduct in exhibition area. Please join us at 11 o'clock. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Suhail. Our next presenter is K. Pratika on enhancing adoption and effectiveness of e-bike sharing for first and last mile connectivity.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Pratika. I have done my master's in School of Planning and Architecture in Vijayawada, and now I'm working in DTCP Chennai, working on a master plans. So my background talks about as we know, the cities are increasing as the population is increasing, and also the cities are increasing. So due to this, usage of private transportation is increasing more than the public transportation. Due to this, emissions are increasing more, and also the condition is happening. So, and also many people are facing the problem for the first and last mile connectivity to catch the metro. So, based on this, there are so many factors that included proper accessibility of e-bike sharing and the parking places near the areas. So for the success of e-bike sharing, first we need to focus on the accessibility of e-bike sharing systems in the most of the cities, and the e-charging stations should be provided, and the proper infrastructure should be provided. If the e-bike sharing facility is provided, the most number of e-bike sharing should be also provided. And when it comes to the need of the city, it should be integrated with the public transportation. If there is a one app, if there is a one app, it can shows the booking of metro ticket, or else switching into the bus, or else switching into the public transportation. So while if he does that, the emissions reduce, and also the greenhouse gases does not affect. And also the traffic reduction will be reduced, and also the congestion doesn't happen. So I have taken the few case studies. In one of the case study, it talks about they have taken the 8 different areas in Budapest. So they talks about the different parameters like infrastructure cost, pricing, parking, and everything. So most of the cities are willing to adopt the e-bike sharing for the first and last mile connectivity. When it comes to the third case study, it talks about the whether the e-transportation can be the transport resilience or not. If there is any weather disruption, this e-bike sharing can help the people for the first and last mile connectivity. And when it comes to the Surat case study, it talks about the linking with the feeder systems. If the e-bike sharing is linked with the feeder system for the BRTS road, the people can easily take the e-bike sharing for their use. So my methodology talks about the aim objectives. So when it comes to the objectives, I have focused on to the identify the potential locations where the e-bike sharing should be placed, and have done the data collections on the surveys, user satisfaction surveys, whether they want to switch to the e-bike sharing or not, user preferences surveys, and also I have collected the data from the air pollution data to know whether how much it is impacting from the private vehicles, and also have collected the data from the e-bike sharing systems where they are operating, whether how many vehicles are how many bikes are traveling daily. So I have given the proposals like phased wise proposal for the area I have selected. So my case study area. So for the case study area, I have taken the few metro stations of Hyderabad. So in the few metro stations of Hyderabad, I have taken the factors like population density, footfall, bike fleet area, intermodal connectivity, land use, and also the metro connectivity it is there or not. So based on that, I have taken the Amirpet Junction, LB Nagar, and also the Raidurga metro station. So mostly LB Nagar is of first and last mile connectivity. It connects of a different, it has a different intermodal connectivity systems. So in that, as my experience, I am from LB Nagar area. So as from experiences, I have faced a lot of problems during my bachelor's time. So and also most of the people has to travel from different places to catch the metro station, to catch the metro. So it's a problem. And when it comes to the Raidurg metro station, it is one of the IT hub stations, IT hub place, where the most of the people get down and take the autos or bikes. So due to this, the pollution is increasing more. If there is any e-bike sharing system station is available, the people can easily take the e-bike sharing and can then go. Amirpet Junction is of a educational area and also the commercial area. Mostly it is of a congested area and crowded area. So if there is any metro station, if there is any e-bike sharing facilities available, the people can easily take that and they can easily roam and they can go. And also we can see that the Raidurg metro station is of, the footfall will be, is of 50,000 plus per day. In Hyderabad, it's launched in 2000. Hyderabad Metro Railway Station is launched in 2017. After the launching of metro station, they have increased the smart bike systems in Hyderabad, in JNTU, Kukatpalli and Miyapur. But the usage has become less due to the awareness of the e-bike sharing systems in Hyderabad. And also they thought to implement in other stations like Begumpet and Nagol. But the usage has become less and the vehicles are not even moving daily. So they had stopped the thing to implement the e-bike sharing facilities. So per kilometer they have taken the 4 rupees. So my sample size calculation is of 384 sample size. From the unlimited population. For the unlimited population, I have done the surveys near the metro station, on the metro stations of my 3, LB Nagar, Amirpet and Raidurg. So when it comes about my surveys, I have taken the surveys on the 3 metro station. Most of the people are from the age of 25 to 34 age. It is of 48%, and the male usage of metro is more. And when it comes to the travel behavior preferences, most of the people are using the metro transport, public transportation on a daily time, but not of a 47% is of a daily time. And when it comes to the private mode, most of the people are using as a first and last mile connectivity as a metro. When it comes to what time does they usually spend on the first and last mile connectivity is of 10 to 20 minutes. So whether they want to shift to e-bike sharing services or not. So most of the people are said yes, because it can reduce the pollution and also it is easy to handle the e-bike sharing facilities rather than using of private transportation. And when it comes to the what are the significance which they want to adopt the e-bike sharing system, and what are the disignificant factors which they don't want to adopt. So most of the people they said availability of e-bike sharing should be there, so that they can want to adopt the e-bike sharing. And most of the people said for the disencourage of e-bike sharing, they want to the proper infrastructure. If the proper infrastructure should be there, and the cost of the e-bike sharing should be around 10 to 20 rupees. And So most of the people want to integrate e-bike sharing with the public transportation, so that they can easily move from one mode to another mode. So for this, I have taken the different parameters. So on the correlation analysis, it talks about the relationship between the parameters. There are so many factors I have taken for the like we have the strong correlation factors like sustainability, infrastructure, and that. And when it comes to the negative correlations, we have the maintenance and operational characters should be there, and descriptive analysis of e-bike sharing adoption and also the air quality. So this first table talks about the e-bike sharing, and next table talks about the air quality. If there is a proper e-bike sharing is there, then we can reduce the PM 2.0 and PM 2.5 and NO2 and GHG gases. If there is like now there is not e-bike sharing facilities are there in Hyderabad. So due to that, air pollution is increasing. If there is a better e-bike sharing facilities are implemented, the reduction of air pollution can be reduced. When it comes to the location feasibility, I have traced the walkability distance from the metro station to the metro parking station area, so that we can implement the e-bike facilities near the parking station, so that the people can easily come and pick up the e-bike sharing facilities. And factor analysis. So in this factor analysis, it indicates the I got the KMO value is of 0.62. It is a fair level connections between the factors, and also the communicalities is of 0.60. It's not the good, like it's not the excellent one, but it's the good between the different factors. So for the demand and supply analysis, as I have told, the usage is become less in Hyderabad per kilometer. Like there are only 10 bikes in available in Mayapur metro station, where it has got implemented in 2017. So for that, it's the usage is of 0.5 kilometers per day. So due to that, as I told, there is a interrelating the concerns of the usage of e-bike sharing facilities. The most of the people has told the difficulty in finding bikes. If the bikes are available in most of the metro stations, the people can easily get the e-bike sharing facilities. Oh. Yeah. And also when it comes to the integrating of public transportation with e-bike sharing facilities, we had the TS Savari app. In the TS Savari app, we can include the e-bike sharing facilities and also the e-bike sharing stations and metro stations. And by integrating that, the people can easily choose any one of the options. Like they can choose the different modes of transport. And I have given the phase-wise implementation. From the phase 1, they can deploy the e-bike sharing facilities and add the signages in next areas. Awareness campaigns should be there, and evaluate of ridership and the maintenance should be there. And based on that, the other areas coming is the implementation should be happened. These are the areas, and the metro station should be provided with the e-bike sharing facilities. Also, the EV charging stations are being implemented in Hyderabad, and also implementation should be done in every area of Hyderabad. And also TSREDCO has thought to implement 136 charging stations in Hyderabad across the Hyderabad. These are my references for my paper. Thank you.
Thank you, Pratika. Yes. Any questions from audience?
Hello, ma'am. Good morning.
Hello.
Ma'am, as you have mentioned, like Raidurga is facing a major congestion because of the private vehicles, but it has a well connectivity between the IT, like land, Mindspace IT over there, and then adjacent to that there is a IKEA is over there. Also, there is no residential area near to it. And for the IT also, people are using metros when compared to the private vehicle. The share will be like 34% for private vehicle. And then majority of the shares has been contributed by the metro.
Yeah.
How did you come to the conclusion that private vehicles are over there like very high?
Like if we see not only to the Raidurg, if we see the other areas like Gachibowli or other areas near the Raidurg, the most of the people are traveling from by their private own vehicles. They are coming through metro station, like they are coming through metro, but they are booking the autos or they are booking the Olas. So like not only in Raidurg, there are other areas which are providing IT sectors. So based on that, I have taken the Raidurg.
Okay. May I know like at what year you have done this survey? Like 2022 or before 2022?
My area,
Yes, ma'am.
it's 25.
Okay, 25. Okay, thank you.
Any questions?
As you have mentioned about the selecting the site, you chose Raidurga over high-tech city metro station, if I'm correct.
Raidurg metro station.
Raidurg metro station over the high-tech city metro station you have selected for the study, right?
Yes.
So high-tech city metro station, and you have also told that people do IPT, that is three-wheelers they use to get into the IT offices of them. So what would be the action plans if we want them to shift to e-bikes? Because apart from Raidurga, I think high-tech city is also one such thing that people will want to pay also. Better income people are going through high-tech city metro station, and what other modes also, maybe enhancing e-bikes on high-tech city. What are your thoughts on that metro station?
Actually, I have taken the Amirpet, Raidurg and LB Nagar are my stations. So when it comes to the other, if not e-bike sharing, they can also provide the e-cars for the people. So
Like why is high-tech city not eligible in your understanding for e-bike facilities, and why to go into Raidurg and not high-tech city?
Raidurg is the last station. So last station of Blue Line. So most of the people travel and comes to the Raidurg. As we can, like as I told, the footfall for the Raidurg station is 50,000 plus. So from the people come to high-tech city and they go to the offices. But the people come to Raidurg, they get down in near the Raidurg and they go to the other places like Fab City or else the nearby near to the places like Gachibowli and etc. So the people are facing a lot of problems when I got to know by doing the survey. So like that, and also there are few and also their offices are providing the buses, but most of the people are preferred to take the e-bike sharing compared to the office buses.
Okay, thank you, Pratika.
Thank you.
And then we will have now the next author, Nikhil, presenting on understanding perceived safety towards advanced driver assistance systems.
So, very good morning to all. I am Nikhil from Indian Institute of Technology, Ropar. I am working under Dr. Rahul TM. Today I will be presenting my work on understanding perceived safety towards advanced driving assistance system using explainable machine learning approach incorporating related constructs. So as we all know, road safety is a critical factor for India. Over 4 lakh accidents occurring each year. One of the major factor is human error, like overspeeding, etc. Advanced driving systems, a technical solution having features like lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, where we can maintain the distance between two vehicles, autonomous emergency braking. They have the potential to reduce crashes and traffic violations. Perceived safety, a critical factor that can influence the adoptions towards advanced driving assistance systems. That this factor only not influence the adoption, but it can also ensure sustained adoption of the ADAS. So research motivation and questions. So perceived safety as can influence the ADAS adoption globally. Previous literature, in particular in the countries like Netherlands, Australia, has shown that people even buy the vehicles but do not really use the ADAS. And even in India, the study related to ADAS is very rare, and even the adoption is very low. So based upon these, I have 2 research questions. First, to examine how the psychological construct and socio-demographic factors shape the perceived safety towards ADAS, and to compare different machine learning models, be it traditional discrete choice model, in predicting ADAS perceived safety. So for this study, we had collected data in Chandigarh. Total sample was 734. Due to missing data and inconsistency, only 633 participants were considered for the further analysis. Dependent variable was taken on 5-point Likert scale, but due to class imbalance and required for the classification through machine learning, we do record it into a binary classification, safe and unsafe. And by binary classifications, we found that only 292 individuals were feeling that ADAS was safe, and predictor variable considered was demographic, awareness, proactive safety orientation, tech savviness. These are 3 latent variables which were captured using 5-point Likert scale statements. Driving experience, past accident history. Representability was ensured using gender and income proportions. So modeling framework, here we have 4 steps. First was recording the dependent variable and also encoding the factors such as income, where we having the multiple classes in a group, and also scaling of the factors where, so first step was latent factor analysis. Since we have 3 latent factors, for this we perform confirmatory factor analysis and extracted the factor scores. And in this, machine learning models considered were naive-Bayes, sport vector machine, random forest, XGBoost, light GBM, cat boost, neural network, and they were compared with discrete choice modeling, which was binary logic in our case. For this, we did a train test split of 90-10, and for the evaluation, we used accuracy, micro F1 score, log likelihood, market share, ROC curves, AUC curves. SHAP analysis were used for the feature importance and variable interpretation of the best performing machine learning model. So in the next slide, I will be discussing some about the machine learning model considered. As I told, machine learning model considered was like random forest, etc. So random forest are tree-based ensemble models. They are built on the decision trees, and they are combined them to improve the predictive performance. And if I talk about the sport vector machine, it is a kernel-based model, and whereas naive-Bayes is a probabilistic-based model and a neural network. For the model evaluation, accuracy was taken. Accuracy shows the proportions of correctly predicted observations out of all. Second is micro F1, it is just the average of F1 scores across all the observations. Market share represent the predicted proportions of individuals choosing each alternative. ROC and AOC curve shows the trade-off between true positive and false positive between different threshold levels, whereas AOC curve just show the ROC curves in the accurate figures. Step plot was used to visualize the contribution of each feature to individual predictors. So these are the result of the confirmatory factor analysis. Here 3 factors were confirmed: tech-savvy, proactive safety orientation, AB awareness. Composite reliability shows the confirmations of the latent factors, whereas the factor determinacy index shows the confirmation for the factor scores extracted. For all this estimation, factor software was utilized. Next, as we all know about the binary logic, which is based upon the random utility maximization having a utility function. Now I will morely talk about the machine learning models, which is more or less focused upon the hyperparameters. For the machine learning models, hyperparameters decide how our model learn. So they are critical and important for the machine learning models. For the random forest, the hyperparameters include number of estimators, maximum depth. For XGBoost, light GPM, and cat boost, number of hyperparameters include number of estimators, maximum depth, and learning rate. They were all estimated using a random grid search based method, and the next table show the final estimators for the model. In case of the neural network, we have input layer, output layer. Hidden layer is basically which we have to determine based upon the hyperparameters. So here we also again utilize the random search, random grid search. Hyperparameters include the number of the layers, number of the neurons, batch size, activation function, optimizer, learning rate. Our final model has the configuration of the 2 hidden layers having 12 neurons in each layer. ReLU as the activation function, Adam as the optimizer. To avoid overfitting, dropout and L2 Lagrangian was used using further early stopping was also used using the patience, and batch size was further to be found to be 45. So if I compare the different models based upon the validation data, which was split in 90 and 10, so we found for the neural network was found to having the best accuracy and further also the best micro F1 score, followed by the random forest, whereas the traditional traditional binary logic was found to have the least performance in form of the accuracy and micro F1. Other thing for the model comparison, we utilized ROC curve. ROC curve is the comparison between the true positive rate. So a model having the high true positive rate will be the best in to predict. Here we can find that a model touching the right corner will be the best. AOC curve shows the exact parameters. AOC values show the exact parameters. So we can see for the neural network, AOC is 0.853. So hence it is having the high true positive rate, so found to be the best. Other comparison we did for the log likelihood and market share. Log likelihood again was found to be least for the neural network, and having the same amount of the market shares was found to be again with the neural network. So these are the parameter estimate which was obtained from the binary logic model. So we can see the driving experience was found to be having a negative parameter. So experienced drivers were feeling unsafe with the advanced driving assistance systems. Awareness was found to having the positive impact. Similar
Nikhil,
interpretations were done for the...
Nikhil, you have 1 more minute to go.
Okay.
Please.
Similar interpretation was done for the neural network using the Sheff values. Sheff values required careful interpretations. We can just interpret based upon the red lines. If red lines are on the positive sides, this means it has a positive impact. If it is on the negative side, it has a negative impact. We can see the driving experience is on, red line is on the negative side of the probability, so it is having a negative impact, whereas awareness is having on the positive side, so it is having the positive impact. So we can compare both the neural network and the Sheff values for the neural network are having the same kind of the interpretations. So for the key findings, we find the neural networks are having the best accuracy and high, and the interpretability can be ensured using the SHEP values. For the psychological awareness was found to be a critical driver for the perceived safety. Similarly, sociodynamic effects were found. So some policy implications, neural networks can be utilized with the help of the SHEP values, and we need to focus upon the behavioral aging programs, including we should focus the ADAS as a protective features, highlighting it as a protective feature, not only the technology. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikhil. Are there any questions?
Thanks, Nikhil, but I was little confused, looks like your whole work was about machine learning methods and comparing them and, understanding which works better. When I look at your, title of the paper, it talks about the ADAS system and understanding its perceived safety. I really didn't get much of that in your presentation. And the last slide, that policy implications that you mentioned, kind of looked disconnected to rest of your presentation. So I think you could have balanced your presentation and focus much better in terms of. So again, the question is, when you say perceived safety of whom and by whom? What is that you studied?
Perceived safety related to the advanced driving assistance systems, how they perceive advanced driving assistance systems.
Who perceived and
individuals,
for whom?
individuals.
Individuals like
For themselves.
Drivers?
Anyone. Who are potential buyers.
Who are potential buyers. But safe.
Say, suppose connection was like, if anyone, past literature say people buy, but they buy for it as an technical.
So what data actually you collected?
Sir?
What data you collected from potential buyers?
Whether they are feeling ADAS as a safe or not.
No. So what were the questions? How did you collect the data?
That was a simple statement on a 5-point Likert scale.
Okay. I think could have.
I have one question. Actually, in previous slide, hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. In previous slide, you had just mentioned that you have their class imbalance, right? So why haven't you used some techniques like to balance the class like addition and mote? And my second question is, why have you chosen 90-10 split only? Why you are not considering validation as well?
So class imbalance for the since we have two objectives here. First, one objective was also to compare the various machine learning models. So for the machine learning models, class imbalance particularly doesn't work well. If we have a very much imbalanced data, they are not supposed to perform well. So we have to balance that classes also. Since particularly we have a very few data with the 5 and the 5, we have only say 8 participants or 10 participants. So that make class imbalances much more. So we have to combine that data into the two categories. So what was your second question?
Your split was 90 and 90 to 10 split, right?
But test train split, since we have to, since for the machine learning models we have to check how the data is performing with the validation data as well. So we have to ensure we have a good training data as well. So we did for the 90-10 split.
90-10 split was for train and test.
Yeah.
You have not means bifurcated it to the validation. That is one my question.
90 was for the training and 10 was for the validation case.
For the test.
Yeah.
Validation and test is different thing.
We ensured only for the test thing, not for the validation thing, since we don't have that much data size.
Okay, you should try different cases like 80-20 and 70-30 as well, and also to split the validation.
Okay, sure, I will look at it.
Any one last question, if anybody has? Sure.
I think anyway, you have my basic point of all this modeling effort, so to say, and just to continue what Dr. Ashish said, you see, I can do fantastic amount of modeling. If I have a data, I can keep churning model and get some result. If one were to look into the practical utility of any research, it should find its way into policy planning. That's a basic principle. Let's be very clear at a master. I think you're a master student probably, or are you a PhD?
PhD. I'm doing PhD.
You're doing PhD. Anyway, I mean, I'm so if I were to just put my view forward, I thought a very critical. There are two things which should have come out in the end. How users perceive safety? What are the various parameters which you found ultimately? That should come very explicit, number one. Are there any inconsistency in those? Number two, I think we need to know why are we doing 9 machine learning model or 8 machine learning model? What is the need for it? Can I use a simpler model which is more friendlier, which is there available across domains in research institutes, in policy planning, in ultimately कौन इसको implement करेगा? Please understand from that perspective. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So I'm looking in the larger picture, and that probably cross comparison, I didn't find it very clearly coming out.
So
But it is a good attempt. It is a good attempt with playing with data. I thought computational time taken is a very important parameter in any mathematical modeling. So that should have been clearly brought out. These are the limitations. Are you getting it? Huh?
These models do not require that much computational time.
It should have been there in a slide. A lot of people in the crowd probably may not be working on these day in and out. You as a research scholar are working.
Okay.
So I'm just sounding it. Okay? Yeah.
So first thing, these models do not require that much computational time. Second thing, in the case of the simpler models,
neural network, आप क्या MATLAB use कर रहे थे? What are the software using for neural network?
For the neural network, I just did in like Jupyter Notebook.
Okay.
Thank you, Nikhil. Now we'll move to the next presenter, Vamsi Krishna, who will be presenting the paper on occupational heterogeneity in ride-hailing mode preferences, the context of Hyderabad city.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm presenting on occupational heterogeneity in ride-hailing mode preferences, the context of Hyderabad city. So I'm working with Professor Manoj from IIT Delhi. So these are my contents. I'll first introduce a brief study context, then objectives. So urban mobility characterized by rapid urbanization, growing private vehicle ownership and infrastructural constraints which posing challenges to policymakers. And these urban areas are facing this, because of this they are facing deteriorating air quality and increased travel demand in urban areas. And recently, from past decade, this app-based ride-hailing services emerged as an alternative mode for this conventional travel modes in urban especially. So this app-based ride-hailing has become an integral part of this urban mobility, and they offer on-demand mobility services for the users. So in the existing literature, studies have shown that varied impacts of this ride-hailing mode preferences. Some studies shown that these ride-hailing services substitutes the mode of public transportation and cause increased vehicle kilometers traveled and congestion. And some studies shows that these ride-hailing services also complement the existing public transportation, which also help for point-to-point first mile, last mile connectivity. So these challenges are especially critical for Indian cities where road transport is significant and share of national energy related CO2 emissions is a major contributor for urban air pollution. So this context has motivated policymakers for including cleaner fleets into the existing traditional travel existing fleets. So I found that there are some gaps existed in the present literature on ride-hailing. The first gap is most of the studies treat this ride-hailing as a single mode to compare with the other modes. And also there is very scarce, very limited literature on empirical and preference-based research comparing electric taxis with the conventional ones. And these are my objectives: investigating how ride-hailing mode preferences vary across occupational categories such as skilled occupations, unskilled occupations, semi-skilled, and service support workers, and compare preferences within these ride-hailing mode options such as three-wheeled auto rickshaws, conventional internal combustion engine taxis, and electric taxis. Then address the gap in understanding occupational heterogeneity in ride-hailing adoption within the Indian ride-hailing context. So I did a stated choice survey considering auto rickshaw, conventional taxi, and electric taxi. So I have from the extensive literature review, I found that there are five. I finalized 5 attributes: fixed fare, waiting time, in-vehicle travel time, emissions, and customer reviews. And these levels is adopted from the literature, and some levels are fixed from the real-time data. So this is one choice scenario presented to the respondent. So we surveyed, we did experimental design in engine, and we retained 18 choice tasks. So these 18 choice tasks divided into 3 blocks, 6 per each. So we presented 6 choice scenarios for every respondent. So our study area is Hyderabad. So we visited random workplaces across GHMC area. So we visited, we almost surveyed 104 workplaces. So that red dots are the workplaces we visited and surveyed the these ride-hailing choice scenarios. Then in total we collected 1289 samples, out of which we retained 1062 responses for final analysis. So for each respondent there are 6 scenarios. So in total we have 6372 observations for the model implementation. So these are some sample distributions of my data. So majority of the individuals are males, and majority of them earning between 5 to 10 lakhs, and majority of them are undergraduates, and age is 28 years. Household size, then vehicle ownership, 2-wheelers, 76% have 2-wheelers, and almost 1/3 of the sample has 4-wheelers. Then most of the respondents travel 5 to 10 kilometers to from workplace, from home to their workplace. Then commuting modes, majority of them travel with motorized 2-wheelers, then bus, followed by private car and ride-hailing taxis. So we surveyed these types of workplaces. We categorized them into 11 workplaces: retail and customer services, information technology, healthcare, hardware industry, engineering and consultancy. All these workplaces constitute job collar nature of white collar respondents, blue collar workers, like that. So for the model implementation, so we divided these workplaces into 4 major categories. One is skilled workplaces, then unskilled workers, those are engaged in manual labor or unskilled trades, then service support workers, which are generally called pink collar workers, who work in service oriented jobs, then the semi-skilled workers, which are combination of white collar workers and blue collar workers. So I did 2 models. One is baseline MNL model to compare the mixed logic model. So this model comparison we found that mixed logic performed well. Yeah, these are my model results. The first is some attributes of alternatives. First is fixed fare. fixed fare is as expected, fixed fare reduces the likelihood of choosing the mode, but this is more sensitive for electric taxis and followed by the auto rickshaws. Fixed fare is relatively small and not a major concern for when choosing conventional taxis. And coming to the heterogeneity variation, fare sensitivity is also observed for auto rickshaws and electric taxis. This indicates a diverse cost perception among the riders. And coming to the in-vehicle travel time, there is a strong negative effect for conventional taxis. So people are, when coming to the conventional taxis preference, people are more concerned about the in-vehicle travel time compared to the fixed fare. Then next, waiting time. There is no significant effect observed for electric taxis, as we took these attribute levels from the real-time survey, observing real-time service platforms, but because of most of the real-time service platforms, there are very less fleet sizes there for electric taxis, so users are already expected that electric taxis will take longer time. And regarding tailpipe emissions, there is a marginal preference for tailpipe emissions. It is for auto rickshaws, the likelihood of choosing this tailpipe emissions is reducing. Then regarding customer validation, there is a significant impact of customer reviews across all modes. So these are some effects of socio-demographics. The car owners show a stronger preference for electric taxis over conventional taxis. This could be due to the users already familiar with their conventional ones. They want to try another experience electric taxis. And MTW owners prefer auto rickshaws over conventional taxis. This reflects a higher cost sensitivity among MTW owners and auto rickshaws, which are very close substitute for auto rickshaws. And longer home work distance reduces the preference for conventional taxis. So coming to our main objective, how people in different workplaces are concerned about or preferring these ride-hailing services. We found that skilled workers, many skilled workers show a strong preference for CTs and ETs, and this could be due to the higher income and lower price sensitivity. And in men in semi-skilled occupations, they also show a very marked preference for CTs. Yes. Yeah. From this study, we suggested some policy interventions. We found these preferences are different among different occupational categories. So in white collar job nature, like skilled workers, there are companies already providing them employee pickup and drop off services. So companies should integrate electric fleets into their existing employee pickup drop services. So it will be easier for users to adopt them. So these are the conclusions. So in this, we found there is a limited literature on understanding this ride hailing. We extended that understanding by exploring how people in different workplace contexts, they prefer ride hailing services across auto rickshaws, electric taxis and conventional taxis. Thank you. These are the reference.
Thank you for the presentation. Are there any questions? No, that's okay. Professor Gupta.
Conventional taxis, I mean ride-hailing.
Yes.
Vis-a-vis electric, isn't it?
Yes.
So there is a two distinct market because for these non-skilled, the unskilled you said prefer for the autos and stuff. Now, what I'm finding in most of the cases, what your results are showing that it is the conventional taxis which probably are preferred. Na?
Preferred among skilled workers, which are
No, whatever categories you have taken except the unskilled, if I read your observation, can you go to the slide? I'm reading your actually paper.
Yes.
4.2, skilled occupation go for conventional taxis, men in semi-skilled also go for strong preference for conventional taxi, and men in service support also prefer conventional taxi. So basically, except unskilled, all of them are going for conventional taxi.
Yes, yes, there is yes, there is different sensitivity among occupations.
Now,
like
my point is, if all of the occupational group categories, except the unskilled, are going for conventional taxi, then where does the role of ET comes in?
So there is a
That I am
preference for
slightly-
electric taxis, especially here. Yeah, men in skilled jobs show stronger preference for conventional taxis and electric taxis. Also,
No, one is also, the one is the model result. The model result should statistically prove very clear, one vis-a-vis the other. Are you getting it?
I mean, look at the table, the outputs there vis-a-vis the findings that you're talking about.
if we look at the table, in skilled workers, male, so electric taxis are more, electric taxis are more preferred than conventional taxis. So it is 0.49 for electric taxis. There is 0.38 for conventional taxis. Very marginal preference for electric taxis among skilled workers.
But I think somewhere in your paper you have not brought out.
I mentioned there is very
I'm
little
going through your
marginal
paper.
preference, so I mentioned here both are preferred.
So that means there is a choice. I mean, there is no distinct class. Let's put it that way, isn't it?
There is
No
a distinction from the model results that these people, specifically working in these workplace environments, they are ready to substitute conventional taxis with electric taxis. So there is a marginal preference if we observe.
Okay, because I was going through a paper, I think there is a slight contradiction in paper and presentation, whatever. Now, tell me, as a policy, I have an occupational group outcome. How do I take a policy forward?
Yeah.
Should I design a policy for occupational wise policy for a public transport system? Can I do that for a city? Where would I use your result for a policy formulation?
So in general, majority existed studies, they showed that they treated this population as homogeneous. So I studied this and found that there is a possibility that there is a clear preference for electric taxis over conventional taxis, and policymakers should consider this disaggregate policies instead of homogeneous policies.
I think the question being asked is how should this be carried forward towards policy making? So that's also something which is equally important to think about.
Policy cannot be disaggregated.
So let's move. Let's one more quick question, if anybody has. Yes, Professor Verma. Please keep it short. Yeah.
This tailpipe emissions.
Yes, sir.
How does it come into? I mean, what does it really show? Can you explain me the result? What this factor is, tailpipe emissions?
Tailpipe emissions, we have 3 levels. So it is like grams per kilometer. So we.
I mean, how it is influencing the choice among auto rickshaw, conventional.
So as tailpipe emissions increases, the preference for auto rickshaws, it is reducing, negative 0.07.
So you're saying that
so it is significant.
People are considering tailpipe emissions also while choosing among these 3 options?
Yes. Actually, there it is very not that much significant if you see, but there is much very less of there. Some people are considering it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Vamsi. Now we move to the final speaker, Mohammad Zabiullah. He would be presenting the paper on how do motorists value e-bike attributes for potential adoption in India. You have 10 minutes.
Engineering BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus. I'm working with Professor Prashant Kumar Sahu. So I would be talking about how motorists evaluate e-bike attributes for potential adoption. Why motorists? Because they are the main contributors of the negative transportation externalities. So we have considered Hyderabad as a case study. So we know what electric bicycle is. That is same as a conventional bicycle, but it has an electric motor and a pedal assist sensors that will detect the pedaling motion and it will assist the user to move forward. And as a result, the user feels much less effort compared to the conventional bicycle. And this has a benefits to the both conventional cycle as well as other mode users. For example, for conventional cycle, it will be easy for them to ascend steep hilly terrains, and for other users, they can save travel cost as well as travel time and can travel longer distances within less time. And the market value for e-bikes has been increasing globally from $25 billion US dollars to the $50 million US dollars in 2028. But in India, the numbers are low because of certain barriers, certain individual, infrastructural, and monetary barriers. So to overcome these barriers, state governments have come up with some policies such as Delhi EV policy that provides incentives such as for first 10,000 buyers of e-cycles, they get a 25% purchase incentive up to 5,500. And in Hyderabad, there is a solar roof cycle track that is India's first 23 kilometers long track. Every weekend, people use cycles there. So for motorists, what are the drivers of e-bike adoption? Whether they are they influenced from purchase incentives or the cycle lanes or the health benefits that we considered as a novelty here, or the charging infrastructure. So in literature, there are three types of studies. One is from the user perspective. What are the influencing factors and what are the deterrents? And from the non-user perspective, what are the influencing factors? Then there are intervention studies where they offer e-bikes to the people to use for 2 to 4 weeks of time period, and then they do the surveys and interviews. And the problem with these studies is that in user studies, the participants may be inclined toward the positive benefits and they may undermine the negative aspects of the e-bike. But in non-user studies, the case is opposite, that the non-users may be inclined towards the barriers. Since they have not purchased an e-bike, they might be inclined towards the barriers and they overshadow the positive aspects. So intervention studies overcome these aspects, but in intervention studies, the challenge is that they are time consuming and cost intensive. So researchers have come up with stated preference experiments where they show the sample scenarios and they ask participants to choose among those scenarios. So these are the research gaps. Such kind of stated preference surveys are very rare in the literature, and the focus on cycling and charging infrastructure has been very less among non-users. And also heterogeneity among non-users, particularly motorists, has been rarely studied in these things. And whatever the literature has been done globally, that is, has been done among the cycling populations. And so those findings cannot be generalizable to the context of like Indian context, where we don't have much cycling population. So in this study, we wanted to find out what are the factors that influence e-bike adoption, and what is the preference heterogeneity, and what is the relationship between these factors and how they influence the reduction of carbon emissions. So for this, we have taken 6 attributes. purchase cost, range, health benefits, purchase incentives, cycling lanes, and charging stations. Charging stations here is a comparison with existing petrol stations, that 50% of existing petrol stations had the fast charging facility. Then in incentives, we have divided 3 levels: no incentive, incentive of 5,500, and third one is 5,500 plus 2,000 for the additional, for first 1,000 customers. So this 2,000 is the first, for the first 2,000 customers. And the health benefits, low, medium, high, these are corresponding to the pedal assistance that the electric bicycle offers. Low assistance for the high speed, and medium is moderate speed, and high assistance, high benefits for the low assistance. And in cycle lanes, painted lanes and protect lanes, and no lanes. So using engine, using de-optimal efficient design in engine, we have the generated choice scenarios. We have designed a questionnaire data collection in Hyderabad among motorists. Then using mixed logic model, we found out the influences of these parameters, as well as the heterogeneity, two-way heterogeneity, and the heterogeneity within the random parameters we have found out. And also we have done sensitivity analysis to see willingness to pay analysis and sensitivity analysis to evaluate the motorist valuation or preferences towards these e-bikes. So this is a sample choice scenario that we have shown to the respondents, and in engine we got 18 choice questions, and we have divided them into 3 blocks, 6 questions per respondent. So each respondent will have to answer these 6 of the choice questions. And based on the random utility theory, the respondents choose the choice that maximizes their utility. And within this utility, there is a part that is a random component other than the deterministic utility. Then the results. Data has been collected from Hyderabad among 1030, the final sample size is 1030. And we have collected data among various government offices. We have done face-to-face interviews among metro areas and IT hubs in Hyderabad. And in the socio-demographic characteristics, majority of the sample were male and highly educated and employed, and using the car or motorcycle as their regular travel mode. Then the results of the mixed logic model. The model has, we have used a mixed logic model and considering normal distribution for all random parameters that can allow heterogeneity, both positive and negative values. The log likelihood and the adjusted rho square indicate a good model fit, and also the from the confusion matrix that shows a 65% accuracy, meaning among 6180 observations, the 3000 around 4000 observation, the model has predicted actual observations. Then influence of e-bike attributes that the random parameters, whatever you have considered, positive sign for all other than the purchase cost, it indicates utility. For the purchase cost, negative sign indicates disutility. After purchase cost, the most influential attributes are the cycling infrastructure, particularly the protected bike lanes, means the physically separated bike lanes. Then range of 45 kilometers, health benefits, high health benefits, and the early bird incentive, that is 7,500 incentive, are more likely to increase the probability of choosing e-bike. And the standard deviations were significant, indicating the heterogeneity in the random parameters. Among social demographics, other than gender, age, income, education, and travel mode significantly influence e-bike adoption. Highly educated and high income motorists are likely to choose, and within the motorcycle users compared to the car users have a higher tendency to shift to e-bike. And we have seen the two-way interactions. We have interacted social demographics with random parameters, and we observed that young adults within age 18 to 29 years have a higher utility for a higher kilometer range, and low income would only purchase an e-bike when the incentives are offered. Then middle age respondents, they have a higher probability for a purchase incentive of 5,500 but not a 7,500 because maybe due to the condition that the additional 2,000 is provided for only the first 1,000 customers. Then young motorists prefer high health benefits while the middle-aged are content with moderate health benefits. This might be due to the existing condition of sweating and attire while traveling, while using an e-bike to their professional workspaces. Then with cycling infrastructure, the middle-aged commuters have a higher likelihood than the young adults for dedicated bike lanes. Then protected bike lanes, regardless of income, they are all perceived to be important. And then charging facilities at every petrol station, the availability increases the probability of choosing any bike. Yes. So we have done willingness to pay as well as sensitive analysis, and here we have observed that if you increase price or regular price from 25 to 35,000, the probability of choosing e-bike may be reduced by 60 to 90%. But if you increase the range from 25 kilometers to 45 kilometers, about 87% of motorists are willing to shift to e-bikes. Similarly, for incentive of 5,500, for 5,500, the percentage shift is much higher than the 7,500 incentive. Then, so these are the policy implications from this study that infrastructure, the cycling infrastructure, either the painted or the protected bike lanes are essential for motorists to shift to e-bikes. Then purchase incentives, similar to the Delhi switch EV policy, that 5,500 could be provided by the local governing bodies. Charging facilities, at least 50% of existing petrol stations could have the fast charging facilities, that 1 kilometer per minute at 1 kilometer per minute rate. Then awareness campaigns should emphasize the importance of physical activity because we have seen that high health benefits are perceived to be important and significant for shifting to e-bikes. Yeah, these are the conclusions.
Yeah. Okay. So we can keep that slide and open it up for questions. 2 very quick questions we can take. No questions? I just have one question. Why do you think people are preferring more? I mean, if you're giving incentive, you would expect people would want more and more incentive. Why do we see a more preference for 5,500 and not for 7,500?
In the 7,500, there was a condition that the additional 1,000 will be provided for only first 1,000 customers. So maybe because of that condition, that indicates that people are not the early adopters. Maybe when the adoption has become at a good rate, maybe people are willing to buy those for that reason.
Okay, Mohammed. Thank you so much for the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Shalini ma'am, for conducting the session so smoothly. Now, I would like to request Vikas Kumar, Under Secretary MOA, to kindly come up and present a memento to Shalini ma'am as a token of respect. Please give a round of applause for Shalini ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. As we conclude, I, Qazi Saif, Executive Engineer, on behalf of MOA, wish to express heartfelt gratitude to all the dignitaries and participants for their valuable contributions. Thank you very much.